Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 22nd of March 2023. And guys, today is going to be a really critical day because Jerome Powell will be announcing the interest rate hike. Now this could set the tone for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for the rest of the year. So what are your thoughts, guys? How much of an interest rate will Jerome Powell increase? Will it be 25 basis points, 50 basis points or 75 basis points? Now ideally the decision is currently taking place, so the numbers are already set at the back of the mind. So what I'd really recommend you to do is Jerome Powell will be going live via YouTube. Make sure you watch it live and then make your own decision. Now in today's episode, guys, we are going to be discussing some really critical information, and this is a report which is published by Forbes, which discusses a $14 trillion worth of earthquake. And in that article, they have gone ahead and explained two giants, that is Fidelity Investments and BlackRock, getting into the cryptocurrency space. Now, we very briefly talked about that in yesterday's episode, where Larry Fink wrote a letter to the investments. And guys, every Monday's Glassnodes and CoinShares, they tend to provide a weekly insight and blog where they share information regarding the last week. Now, unfortunately, in today's episode, I won't go into detail, but I'll very briefly touch base on that. And guys, towards the later part of the episode, we are going to be discussing a report which is published by the White House, and the economic report of the president did include an entire chapter on digital assets, and CoinDesk is stating that the report is definitely not looking good for the digital space. And guys, I've often said politics and politicians definitely do have a very strong say in the trajectory and directions of Bitcoin, freedom of speech, open source, and even central bank digital currencies. Now, in yesterday's episode, we talked a lot about CBDC. In today's episode, we'll very briefly touch base on this. Now, regarding NFT, we have some news as well, and Sony, the retail electronic giant, is making a move in NFTs as well. Now look, guys, Sony claimed to have over 100 million PlayStation Network users, so them getting into NFTs is definitely going to have a lot of news. Now, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news regarding Dubai, UAE and Middle East. And the first news, guys, is about Mohammed bin Rashid School of Government, and they have launched a major report on advancing artificial intelligence impact on the digital economy of Dubai. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore what that report is all about, and I'll go ahead and share my thoughts and opinions and how that would impact Sheikh Hamdan's vision of making Dubai the #1 city in the world so far as Web3 is concerned, and the top 10 cities in the world so far as Metaverse is concerned. Now the second news is about Russell Kamer, and earlier in the month of February, we did talk about Russell Kamer getting into the digital asset space. Now this news is an update, and they have set up laws to set up free zone and digital and virtual asset companies. So definitely a great move by the emirate of Russell Kamer. So quite a lot to talk about in today's episode, so let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as we kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and Metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. They'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events, and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Firstly guys, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. Finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now as of today, the global crypto market is at $1.18 trillion. Now look guys, today's day is going to be absolutely critical. Probably the most important day for 2023. Now once Jerome Powell goes live and once he announces the interest rate hike, there are 3 alternatives what I can think of. 1, the number could go ridiculously low, well below the $1 trillion mark. The second is the number could remain absolutely stagnant, at least for the next 24 to 48 hours, and then it could go up and down. And the third one is the number could absolutely pump, and I wouldn't be surprised if it crosses the $1.50 trillion mark in the next 24 hours. We'll definitely go ahead and explore that later on. Now, since the last 24 hours though, the global cryptocurrency market volume has increased by 1.47%. The total crypto market volume though is less by 11.64%, and as of today it is $67.34 billion. Now, so far as the volume of DeFi is concerned guys, the 24-hour volume is low to $5.18 billion, but guess what? The total value locked has crossed the $50 billion mark, and to be honest, in 2023, this might be the 3rd time the total value locked has crossed the $50 billion mark, and as of today, 22nd of March, it is at $50.09 billion. Lido is still dominating at 21.36%, and so far as the total value locked of Lido is concerned, it is at $10.70 billion. Now, unfortunately, guys, DeFi is accounting for a lesser percentage of the total cryptocurrency market volume, and as of today stands at 7.69%. MakerDAO's total value locked is number 2nd at $7.88 billion, followed by Aave at $5.73 billion, Core Finance at $4.72 billion, and Uniswap at $3.80 billion. The volume of stablecoins is at $61.53 billion. Now look guys, what is really critical especially today is to look at the volume of stablecoins. So let's say for instance, if Jerome Powell were to announce an aggressive interest rate hike, the volume of stablecoins will definitely go to an increase and the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be falling down. But let's say if he is not too aggressive in announcing the interest rate hike, I wouldn't be surprised if the volume of stablecoin also increases, but at the same time the prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum will be pumping up. So what is going to happen is people are going to use stablecoins in order to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But if the announcement is aggressive, people are going to withdraw the funds from cryptocurrencies and put it into stablecoins because the whole idea is they're expecting the value of $1 to be $1. As of today, Tether USDT is accounting for $49.72 billion out of the overall volume of stablecoins of $61.53 billion. And if you look at the market cap of Bitfinex's Tether USDT, it is at $77.58 billion. Circle USDC is number second at $4.95 billion. And I'm talking about the 24-hour trading volume. But if you look at its market cap, it is at $35.23 billion. And Binance BUSD's market cap is $8.11 billion, but the 24-hour trading volume is $6.42 billion. And stablecoin today, guys, accounts for 91.37% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, guys, let's look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's market cap is $542 billion, whereas Ethereum's market cap is $219 billion. The 24-hour trading volume is ridiculously low at $35.9 billion for Bitcoin, and Ethereum is at $10.7 billion. Now guys, this number hopefully should change probably in the next 24 to 48 hours. But once again, in the cryptocurrency world, it could be possible that it turns out to be a nothing burger. Now if you look at the dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin's dominance is definitely picking up pace and it is currently at 46.10% and Ethereum is at 18.60%. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. The prices of Bitcoin is currently at $28,064. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 0.74%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 12.43%. And guys, if you're into the world of NFTs, the number of ordinal inscriptions are definitely picking up pace, but I wouldn't be surprised if this trend in the next couple of weeks or maybe in the next couple of months as well. And Magic Eden, they've also launched Bitcoin ordinal inscription market. So it looks like other NFT marketplaces are definitely getting into NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain. Now Ethereum is currently at $1,792. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.59%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 4.43%. Binance Coin is staying steady at $333. Since the last 24 hours though, it is down by 0.32%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 7.12%. Now what happened earlier today, guys? Forbes did publish an article, and the headline of the article states $14 trillion worth of earthquake, and in that article they go ahead and explain Fidelity Investments and BlackRock are quietly laying the groundwork for the next Bitcoin, Ethereum and crypto bull run. Now look guys, I have a little bit of trouble reading this news because when you talk about cryptocurrencies, ideally it should be for average individual citizens. Unfortunately, these are some real heavy-duty giants. Fidelity and BlackRock, they're getting into the game, defeats the whole purpose of using Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you will definitely be promoting this news, and the answer is pretty simple. By promoting this news, you're creating the demand for the cryptocurrency, and by doing that, your existing net worth will be increasing. Now, in that article, they have said that the groundwork for the next Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto bull run is on its way, and they also talked about Larry Fink's letter, which I did talk about yesterday, which he wrote to his investors, which you can find the official filings with the Security Exchange Commission. And guys, in this article by Forbes, it also states that Fidelity Investments have now opened up its crypto trading platform to its 37 million users to buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum commission free. Now this could be the reason why the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies might be pumping up to the moon. And could it be possible that the global cryptocurrency market is at $14 trillion? Now, as of today, the global cryptocurrency market is at $1.18 trillion. So what they are saying is that potentially the global cryptocurrency market could be 10 times better than what it currently is. Now, what are your thoughts, guys? Mention them in the comments below. And one major event that is taking place today is the Federal Reserve Board Jerome Powell will be announcing the interest rate hike, and this could set the tone for the price of cryptocurrencies for the rest of the year. Now, guys, one thing what I'd really recommend you to do is Jerome Powell goes live on YouTube. So go to YouTube, Federal Reserve Board, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you watch the interview where he goes and explains and gives his reasoning as to why he's going to either reduce the interest rate hike, keep it the same, or will not increase the interest rate hike at all. Now, this news, guys, will definitely set the stage for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for the rest of the year. So what are your thoughts, guys? How many basis points will the interest rate be increased? Now, I am thinking that there might be three possible outcomes. The first one is he might increase the interest rate hike by 25 basis points. Now, if that thing happens, it means it's absolutely brilliant, and the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will definitely be on the verge of going up. If he increases, let's say by 50 basis points, I really am not sure what is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Depends on what mainstream media publishes regarding this news. The market is going to react, and I really am not sure what is going to happen if the interest rate hike is only 50 basis points. But listen, guys, if Jerome Powell increases the interest rate hike by 75 basis points, I wouldn't be surprised if the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies 100% collapses. Now, like I say in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, guys, all price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. And in yesterday's podcast, I did talk about Balaji S, the former CTO of Coinbase. He talked about hyper-Bitcoinization, and he did lay out an official bet for the price of Bitcoin to reach $1 million in the next 90 days. So it's going to be really crucial to see what happens today. Guys, now let's touch base on Weekly Insight, which is published by Glassnodes, and CoinShares. They tend to provide a weekly blog as well, and they do it on Monday. Now, usually in my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, I try to expand it in detail, but in today's episode, I'm just very briefly going to run through it. The Glassnodes Weekly Insight states that Bitcoin has outperformed this week, rallying 35.8% against a backdrop of challenges conditions for the traditional finance and banking system. Now, this report is in reference to the previous week, and the insight discusses how Bitcoin appears to be shifting up a gear and rallying out of the deep bear market territory. Now, mind you guys, this is taking into consideration all the banking giants that collapsed in US, and also the impact of Credit Suisse that went completely belly up. And CoinShares, guys, I believe they take the data only till Friday, and their weekly blog states that last week saw the largest weekly outflows on record, totaling $255 million for their assets under management. And for them, Bitcoin saw outflows totaling $244 million last week, and the negative sentiments were particularly seen in North America and Europe. Now, what is really interesting to see is in United States of America, they had positive sentiments towards Bitcoin. Now, this is exactly the reason why Bitcoin was created. There were three banks that went completely belly up. They got liquidated, and so far as an investor's point of view is concerned, they had positive sentiments towards Bitcoin. So it looks like cryptography, hashing algorithm, and mathematics is definitely replacing the trust in humans. It's going to be really interesting, guys, to see how FOMC impacts the news of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies later in the day. Now, really, I'm not sure the exact time when Jerome Powell will be going up live, because he will definitely be going live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in Dubai time, I really am not sure what is the exact time, because I believe that there is some daylight saving going on as well. So if you do know the exact time, mention them in the comments below. But once again, guys, what I'd recommend you to do is subscribe to the official channel of Federal Reserve Board. You might get a notification on when he goes live. Now, guys, let's talk about an economic report released by the extreme left-leaning administration. And the White House did actually release a report called as the Economic Report of the President, and it included an entire chapter on digital assets and economic policies. Now, if you go through the report, it is an entire 500-page document, and they do talk about digital economies for roughly around 50-odd pages. This is absolutely new, and they talk about the benefits of digital markets, how is competition different in digital markets, the role of law and regulations in digital markets, and they also discuss the perceived appeal of crypto assets. And in that report, guys, they also have quite a lot of claims, and one of the claims is crypto assets could be investment vehicles. Cryptocurrencies could offer money-like functions without relying on single authority. Crypto assets could enable fast digital payments. Crypto assets could increase financial inclusion. Crypto assets could improve the United States' current financial technology infrastructure, and quite a lot of other. And they also discuss the reality of crypto assets and quite a lot more. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is read through the report. Now, granted, it's only 50 pages, but if you do want information and if you're heavily invested in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, you definitely need to check it out. And they also discuss investing in the nation's digital financial infrastructure. And this is where they are promoting the central bank digital currency, and they have benefits of a project called FedNow, and they're comparing it with cryptocurrency, guys, and this is definitely not ideal. And CoinDesk, guys, they have published an article that states that the report also took a minute to say a centralized internet is easier, and they have cited Signal creator Moxie Marlinspike and central bank digital currency system. And what they mentioned in the report that central bank digital currencies will offer real-time payment solutions. So let me try to explain what CoinDesk is saying, because what CoinDesk is saying is that the report argues that the crypto industry has not provided the benefits that it has claimed to offer, such as improving payment systems, increasing financial inclusion, and creating mechanisms for the distribution of intellectual property and financial value that bypass intermediaries. It cites various disasters in the crypto sector, including the collapse of Terra USD, BitConnect, and FTX, and they've mentioned these as examples of how everyday Americans were harmed. Additionally, the report notes more subtle frauds such as Long Island ISD changing its name to Long Blockchain to ride a stock price wave despite not having anything to do with blockchain at the time. And despite acknowledging that some crypto assets appear to be here to stay, the report argues that they continue to cause risk for financial markets, investors, and consumers. It notes that much of the activity in the crypto asset space is covered by existing regulations, but other parts require coordination by various agencies and deliberations about how to address the risks they pose. The report does not provide specific recommendations for future regulations or congressional actions, but it suggests that the regulators are expanding their capabilities to bring a large number of new entities under compliance. Now, overall, the report takes a critical view of the crypto industry, arguing that it has not yet delivered on its promises and poses significant risks to consumers and the financial system. Now, look, guys, if you're completely honest, I kind of agree to this report. Now, me, despite not liking the left-leaning administration, this report does speak facts. Because when you look about Bitcoin, it is only multi-billionaires, early investors, celebrities, and influencers who have benefited by Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What happens to average individual citizens? I really am not sure if an average individual citizen has been benefited because of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, granted, there are some people who have definitely benefited by it, and these are early adopters. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Sony. And Sony, the PlayStation maker, is stacking NFT-related patents applications, pointing to a more open future for the gaming giant. And Sony has proposed that these assets could include items such as game skins, artwork, avatars, weapons, or even video game skills. Now, Sony, guys, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, they have 112 million PlayStation Network users, so them getting into NFTs is definitely going to be a massive news. But once again, guys, if you looked at what Facebook or Meta did, they actually discontinued NFTs for Instagram and Facebook. So let's see if the experimentation by Sony provides to be beneficial to them. Now, guys, let's discuss two news regarding UAE. And the first news is Mohammed bin Rashid School of Government. They have published a report on advancing AI impact on digital economy in Dubai. And Mohammed bin Rashid School of Government, also called as MBRSG, has been contributing to the World Government Summit bodies of knowledge for 10 years. During the past decade, MBRSG contributed to more than 15 several activities, including reports, knowledge forums, and global council, and the report focuses on the role of artificial intelligence in Dubai's digital economy. The report explores 5 pillars of digital transformation, that is data use, artificial intelligence adoption, blockchain adoption, remote work policy adoption, and practices among government and digital economy businesses in Dubai. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is read through the report because it was roughly 2 pages long. And guys, among Dubai entities, artificial intelligence adoption is most common in service adoption operations, and the perceived value of artificial intelligence is positive, but dedicated artificial intelligence strategies and AI ethics management systems are still not universally adopted. and applications for general AI and large language models, also called as LLM, are viewed positively among government agencies in Dubai, and government implementations of generative AI applications are primarily considered or implemented in customer services. Concerns about generative AI applications are primarily related to ethical AI considerations, data quality, availability and representativeness, as well as legal considerations related to IP and illegal issues. And government departments reported that the remote work policies have positive impacts on productivity, collaborations, and employee well-being. And if you're someone who's working in Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan did actually state that on Fridays during the Ramadan hours, you can work from home. Now, going back to the report, guys, what the report states is that most responding companies had a clear digital transformation plan. Cloud computing was the most widely adopted advanced technology application by responding digital economy companies in Dubai. AI developers in Dubai reported spending more of the digital budgets on digital transformation than peers. A small minority of Dubai's digital economy companies reported fully applying blockchain technologies. And look, guys, with the hype of ChatGPT, I'm pretty much sure in the next coming weeks and months there will be more use case. But guys, regulatory considerations and talent-related issues are hindering the adoption of blockchain technologies, and the report presents a major fieldwork and policy study by the MBRSG. And the report was launched in an in-person event on the 20th of March at the MBRSG headquarters in Dubai, and the objective of the report is to inform future policies that lead to a thriving digital economy and pave the way for innovation and ethical adoption of AI and its applications. And the report explores the challenges and opportunities facing companies and organizations who rely on data and digital infrastructure. And this report is done, I believe, with Microsoft as well. And Microsoft believes in creating technologies that can change the world while ensuring that the technology is used responsibly. Now, keeping all these things, guys, my question is, how can Microsoft's commitment to responsible technology use impact Dubai's adoption and implementation of blockchain technologies in the context of Web 3.0? Because one of the vision of Sheikh Hamdan is for Dubai to be the number one city in the world so far as Web 3.0 is concerned. And the second question is, in light of the findings from the MBRSG report on artificial intelligence adoption in Dubai's digital economy, how can Microsoft leverage its expertise in AI and cloud computing to support Dubai's effort to develop ethical AI strategies and management systems for the digital economy? The Microsoft is heavily invested in OpenAI and ChatGPT as well, so definitely brilliant news. Now, guys, let's discuss the second news, and this is news regarding the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah, and they have set up law to set up free zone and digital and virtual asset companies. Now, guys, on the 27th of February, the government of Ras Al Khaimah had announced its intention to launch a rock digital asset oasis, and it would be the world's first free zone dedicated to digital and virtual asset companies. And guys, I definitely covered this in my Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, so let me try to give out some more information regarding this news. Now, Ras Al Khaimah has issued a law to establish the world's first free zone dedicated to digital and virtual asset companies, and the free zone will be called Rock Digital Asset Oasis and will be an independent governmental authority affiliated with the newly created Department of the Future. It will have financial, administrative, and legislative independence, allowing it to function as a purpose-built, innovation-enabling free zone in the virtual asset sector. And the Emirate hopes that the Rock Digital Asset Oasis will attract new businesses and support its diversification strategy, and the free zone will focus exclusively on digital and virtual asset companies operating in new and emerging sectors such as Metaverse, blockchain, and NFTs. And it will offer support to companies with adoption frameworks, advisory and professional services, hybrid workspaces, accelerators and incubators, sandboxes, and access to funding. And the free zone aims to promote entrepreneurship, especially in the digital and virtual asset sector, which thrives on innovation and speed. And guys, the UAE has been enacting policy reforms to attract more entrepreneurs and businesses to the country, with a focus on digitization, and the regulatory agencies in the country have been adopting laws to streamline and supervise the digital asset industry. And look, guys, Rock Digital Asset Oasis will add incremental value to the economy by creating new jobs and promoting inward investment. And Sheikh Mohammed Al Qasimi, the chairman of Rock International Corporate Center and the managing director of Rock EZ, has been appointed as the chairman of Rock Digital Asset Oasis, and Samir Al Ansari, the chief executive of Rock ICC, has been named as one of the free zone's chief executive. Look guys, this new free zone will offer a range of benefits including 100% foreign ownership, 100% repatriation of profits and capital, and 0% corporate and personal tax. So definitely check it out. So that's all for today guys on the Crypto Coffee Date from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now guys, for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question about Reza who asks, do you think NFT hype on Bitcoin will die away? Now look Reza, I do think that the hype will die away, but when I initially mentioned this news, there were 10,000 NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain. Just 2 weeks after that, it moved up to 100,000 NFTs on blockchain. And just yesterday when I was researching, it moved up to 500,000 NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain. Now I 100% agree that the hype on NFTs will definitely reduce over time, probably in the next coming weeks and months. But after the announcement of interest rate hike by Jerome Powell today, it could be possible that the prices of Bitcoin tends to pump up, and because of that, the volume on NFTs could also be increasing. But that thing being said, Reza, I do feel that the NFT hype on Bitcoin will definitely not sustain for last. And one thing which I think about is, in the second half of this year, we're going to be seeing quite a lot of news on central bank digital currencies. It could be possible that central bank digital currencies using fiat currencies will be able to offer NFTs as well. So you also need to take that into consideration. And to be honest, all it takes is one massive news, a massive giant company, let's say like Louis Vuitton or Nike, buying these NFTs at a ridiculously high price. That creates a demand. So let's say in the near future, if one of the fashion icons or let's say if one of the rap stars do actually buy an NFTs using central bank digital currency, it's definitely going to shift a lot of the demand on central bank digital currency. Or it could be possible that someone buys it on NFT blockchain. If that thing happens, the hype will definitely continue. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the hype dies down in probably 2 years or less. Now earlier today while I was preparing for this podcast, Reza, I did see that Gamma.io, they also tweeted that they are proud to present a trustless Bitcoin ordinals marketplace where users can create and trade digital assets. So this news is definitely picking up quite a lot of momentum. And earlier today I also read this news about Magic Eden, and they have also launched Bitcoin ordinals inscription market. So definitely a lot of hype right now. But if you're into trading, I really am not sure if that is the way to go. What I'd recommend you to do is, if you're an artist, if you genuinely have some art and if you do feel that it has some utilities, if that is the case, I would definitely recommend to sell your own NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain using ordinal inscriptions. So those were my honest thoughts on that, Rizam. So that's all for today, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series in Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 am to 8:30 am, we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes in Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.